Welcome, my dedicated and faithful viewers. Enough of the dramatics, guys. All right, so bringing you Mile 10, I bring you an amazing book. To me, books have been kind of like Lucky Charms. Sometimes you get a book and it only has like 2 marshmallows in it, right? Then sometimes you get a bowl or a book and it has the entire bowl is full of marshmallows, all right? That's how I felt about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book is full of marshmallows. Okay? Now, this is one of those books that I highly encourage you to read. Some of the other ones, I'll just give you the main points. Like the next one, I say, hey, if you just get these main points, you really don't have to read the entire book. But this one, I highly encourage you to read the book. There's a lot of information, but I promise you, this is one of those books that will greatly improve and enhance your relationships between family, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, your relationships in business, how to obtain more clients, especially if you're a salesman. I mean, this book is just pretty much invaluable. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the main principles of this book, followed by a slide showing you those principles, and some of them I'll give you some examples, but like I said, you really need to read the book to get the full effect, okay? So, the 3 principles in handling people, techniques to handle people. Principle 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. I think that goes without saying. The minute you criticize or condemn someone, they automatically get on the defensive. That's not how to win people to your way of thinking. Principle number 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Principle 3, arouse in the other person an eager want. 6 ways to make people like you. This is a really good series of chapters to get you to really make friends. I mean, even it's just to get more friends in your social life, or if you're at a conference, how to actually introduce yourself and get people to talk to you and make them like you when they leave. Principle 1, become genuinely interested in the other person. Actually want to know about them, their story. One of the best questions you can ask at any conference, or if you're trying to meet someone, is walk up to them saying, hey, what's your story? Principle 2, smile. No one likes a Debbie Downer. Principle number 3, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. If you were able to remember someone from 3 months ago and you only met them once, and you walk up and said, Kyle, good to see you, they automatically go, wow, I can't believe you remembered my name. How are you? Totally different from, what was your name again? You can obviously tell just that little bit of information, to remembering their name can have a huge impact on, if you're a salesperson, really closing that deal. Principle 4, be a good listener and encourage people to talk about themselves. Once again, what is your story? And actually be interested and actually listen to what they have to say. Principle 5, talk in terms of the other person's interests, not your own. No one cares what you want. Y'all don't care what I want. You guys watching, y'all don't care what I want. What you want, what your interest is how is this impacting you? What is the content of me giving you this? And then you go out and you read this book based off what you saw here, and it immensely increases the value of your life, right? You don't care what I want. You don't care that I want a lot of views, or that using this as a platform to start speaking in the future. You don't care. All you care about is what I'm giving you, right? Talking in terms of your interest. Principle 6, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. One of the most innate desires, which we'll talk about in Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill, is a person's need to feel important. It's one of their main factors in anything they do. Win people to your way of thinking. Principle 1, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. That goes without saying. If you get into an argument, even if you win, you lose, because you've lost that person's respect for you. You've damaged their ego, right? So the best way to get rid of an argument, to get the best of an argument, is just don't have one. Avoid it. Talk later. If it has to do with your spouse or something. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say you're wrong. Even if you know for a fact they were 100% they were wrong. If they said 2 + 2 = 5, Don't say, no, it doesn't, it equals 4. Let me show you why, logically, it equals 4. The only reaction is, you're right, it is 4. And they automatically feel down about themselves. Your main purpose is to bring them up, right? So don't tell them that they're wrong. Come up with a way of indirectly that you can get them to your way of thinking that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now, principle number 3, if you're wrong, admit it quickly. Imagine if you got pulled over by the cops for speeding and you're automatically getting on the defensive when the cop comes. You're like, oh, here comes the cop. But if you think in the other person's shoes and realize that he's just doing his job, and as soon as he got to the car, you said, officer, thank you for pulling me over. I know I was speeding, and it's something that I've done in the past, and I'm actually really glad you pulled me over because, honestly, I'm hoping that this is exactly what I needed to make me stop doing it. I needed to get pulled over. I needed to get a ticket. What are the odds of him giving you a ticket after that? Maybe he still does, but he's more likely not to give you one because you automatically said that you're wrong and you recognized it. Principle number 4, begin in a friendly way. Principle number 5, the Socratic method. Get the person to say yes, 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 yes immediately. So in sales, get them to say yes, 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 and then pitch what you're trying to sell because they're more likely to say yes on a psychological level. All right, just reword whatever you're trying to get them to say. Make it say yes. Don't say, here are my prices. Do you want this? Say, did you, like from a fitness guy, did you love the workout? Yes, I love the workout. Do you see how doing this workout, if you were to come 3 times a week based off the program that I designed for you, do you see how this can immensely help you in your future and get to the goals you want? Yes. Perfect. Do you want to come once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? 3 times a week. Beautiful. Here you go. Let's get you signed up. I mean, granted, I'm using it for sales. First off, I have to give them great value. I have to be genuinely interested in their well-being in order for me to actually even have a business. But the idea is to get them to say yes, 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 to put them in the mindset of saying yes. Principle 6, let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Once again, what's your story? Talk about yourself. Get them to ask you, hey, what are your prices? Or hey, what is your story? Right? I know that I'm doing something wrong in fitness when I have to tell someone, here are my prices. I wait for them to say, how much is this going to cost me? Okay? Principle number 7, let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. Make it that it's their idea, right? One of the main ways that I get paid, I read the person, one of the main ways that I like to sell my services, when they ask me how much, I ask them, how much do you think that this is worth? How much are you, based off the value, what do you think that the value of this costs? Then I let them write down, and then if it's close to what I say, you know what? Let's do that. You make the idea his or hers, okay? Instead of making it your idea. Principle 8, try honestly to see the things from the other person's point of view. I cannot imagine how much this is going to help you. It's going to help you immensely when you start applying this technique to anyone that you're trying to sell to your spouse, to the person that you're with, to your family. Think in terms of their views and you get an entirely different perspective. Principle 9, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires because once again, they don't care about your desires. So honestly, be sympathetic about theirs and be truly interested. Principle 10, appeal to the nobler motives. To give you an idea, my people sign a contract, whether it be for 3 months or 6 months, to commit to a certain program. I tell them this is not a contract. That a legal document. I am not going to go and chase you. The reason I want this is I believe that you, based off the hour that we spend together, are a person of your word. And I know that by signing this, you are not only committed to yourself, but you're also committing to me that the rate that I gave you is for 3 months, not 1 month, and that I know you will take care of this. Appeal to the nobler motives. Let them know that I know you're going to do this because I know you're an honest person. Okay? Principle 11, dramatize your ideas. Advertisements do this all the time. Movies do it. Why shouldn't you? Principle 12, throw down a challenge. Throw down a challenge. You know what? I always apply this to my business. You know what? This is normally $30 a session. But in the next 3 months, I know you can lose this amount of weight. And if you lose this amount of weight, I'll charge you a third of the price. Or I'll charge you half the price. Or I'll give you an entire month free after that if you do that, because I know you can. Throw down a challenge. And then one of my favorite ones, how to be a leader. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Never nag. Once again, never criticize and complain. 2, call attention to the people's mistakes indirectly. Don't tell them that they made a mistake. Make them come up with the idea on their own. Indirectly tell them their mistakes. 3, talk about your own mistakes besides criticizing another person. Hey, you know what? Back when I was 22 years old, I used to do that all the time. I used to get so much shit for that, right? It was only really after 3 or 4 years. And honestly, you're doing a hell of a lot better than I did. And a way, because Dale Carnegie says never say but. And I know that you're going to continue to increase your sales, increase this, or increase value. Because where I was at your age, I was nowhere close to you were. Okay? Principle 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. You need to water all your tables. If I'm a manager or server, water all your tables. They're not going to want to do that. Walk up to them and say, hey, did you notice last week when I noticed that you, first off, last week I noticed that you watered every single table. First off, thank you so much. It meant a great deal and really sped up the service. But did you also notice that they were much happier when they didn't have to ask you for water? Yes. Right. So, first off, once again, thank you for last week. Have a good night. So now I think it's my idea to start filling up the waters because they were much happier. And he didn't give me a direct order in order for me to do that. I just started doing it. Pretty cool. Principle number 5, let the other person save face. Principle number 6, praise the slightest improvement, praise every improvement, and be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Never just harp on someone's negatives. If they do one thing that's a little bit right and they improved on it, lavish in that. Tell them how thankful for you are that they're improving. It's going to make them want to improve more. A lot of managers need to be reading this. Principle 7, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Kind of like earlier when I said you're honest. I know you're going to live up to that reputation. Principle 6, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. For instance, if I'm correcting someone's form, no, that was totally wrong. You should be doing this. Instead, you say, hey, actually, good job. You picked that up a lot quicker than most people do, right? So what we're going to do is keep doing what you're doing, and all we're going to do is make this slight adjustment. Wow, that seems a lot easier than, no, you did it wrong, do it this way. Okay, principle 9, make the other person happy about doing the thing that you suggest. Give them a reason to be happy about what they're doing. Let them know that they water those tables. It's going to speed up service, they're going to be happy, and it's actually going to increase your nightly, monthly, and yearly income if you're a server. Simple as that. How to win friends and influence people, guys. Invaluable. This is a must read. You cannot get all the value of this book just by this one quick little 10-minute demonstration, okay? So read the book. It's going on the shelf. And I'll catch you next time for Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We'll see you then.